See, I have been ready like for a while now, but I just can't seem to start talking. I've been short of words because there will beauty. Everyone now, everyone she do, everyone she glue, everyone she fine. Oh God. Okay. Hello, beautiful people. Hello, sugar babies. My name is Karima Kazim, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I'm gonna leave this beauty for a few minutes and talk to you guys. You see, many things hold the world together, big or small. But I'm going to tell you for a fact that one of the most beautiful things to have graced the surface of this earth is the dialectal Yoruba. Right? When I say dialectal Yoruba, for the purpose of those watching this video, I mean the many variants, the many dialects that exist in the Yoruba language, right? You see, like many languages of the world, the Yoruba language is a very unique one. But you see the dialectal ones, oh my God. They are beautiful. They are music to I can't seem to save my life, so forgive me for that. The music to my ears, I love to hear them. And when I refer to the many dialects of the Yoruba language, you see you guys hear only one particular dialect of the Yoruba language in this part of Nigeria. When I say this part of Nigeria, I mean Lagos, Ibadan, some parts of Ogun State. But I just mean that the common Yoruba that you hear people speak is just one dialect. Meanwhile, there are hundreds of dialects in the Yoruba language, and when I hear them, it makes me just happy. I don't know what explanation to give it. Maybe it's because of the scarcity, the fact that I don't get to hear it every day, but whenever I hear it, good Lord, I cannot even stop listening or speaking it. All right, so when I come back from this video, I'm going to give you some examples of the dialectal Yoruba. I'm going to talk about the predicted survival of the languages, the dialect of the language, and then some tips to help with the longevity of the dialectal Yoruba. So please stay back, don't go away. Welcome back. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share, and drop a like. How do you say it? Okay, so before I went on that short break, I said I was going to bring you examples of dialectal Yoruba. But in order to make this video as short as possible, I will only use two basic examples that you are familiar with. I'm quite sure you're familiar with them. So one is Kilonso. That is, what is he saying? What is she saying? Or Kilonso, what are you saying? And the number two is Adafuen, right? So the first one, Kilonso, right? Kilonso. In my hometown, you can actually say Kininwi, right? Kininwi. Or if you want to say Kilonso, that's what are you saying? You say Kilonso. In my hometown, right? In my dialect, native tongue, it's Kilonso. Now, my hometown people have a way of introducing or into a word where every other dialect might have put O, right? So it's not, some dialect will say Kilonso, right? And my hometown people will say Kilonso. Then you have people who say Kilonso, that's what is she or he saying. And then that means in my hometown, you're going to say Kininwi, right? In some part of your state, in some part of Osun state, they say Kininwi. But if you travel down to Ondo State, some part of Ondo State will say Kwetifo, right? Kwetifo. I am not exactly sure whether I am pronouncing it correctly, but I'm pretty close, I think. So they say Kwetifo, and it's just so beautiful to hear it when they say that. Now, the second example is Adafuen, right? That's a common Yoruba you hear, that it is well with you, right? Or it's already well with you. Otidarafuen, it's already well with you. right? Adafwan, it's going to be well with you. It is well with you, right? The common Yoruba will say Adafwan. In my own town, your dafwan. That's what they say. In your state, you say your dafwan, right? In some parts of Ondo State, of Akoko, if I remember correctly, you hear Adownre, right? And then when you travel back to some parts of Ondo State again, you hear Yodakwo, right? Yodakwo. Okay, I mean, these various dialects of the Yoruba language, they are beautiful. For me, I love them. I enjoy them. But you see, for so many modern day speakers of the Yoruba language, it's saddening, right? It's disheartening that many of them find it embarrassing to listen to the language, to speak their mother tongue, to even communicate with their family and friends when they're with them, right? It's so sad. It's really, really sad. And if you're one of those people, you need to understand that this is one of the many reasons that make languages go extinct. If you refuse to speak your language, how do you want it to survive? All right. So now that we've looked at this, so many two major examples in across different dialects in the Yoruba language, let's talk about how to preserve it, because truthfully, the Yoruba language is so many dialects rather in the Yoruba language are endangered. Like, most of them are abandoned. Nobody is speaking them anymore. We have all grown wings to the extent that we feel like our languages are not cool enough. They're not the language of the elite. And so we just don't bother speaking them anymore. So let's look at ways to preserve some of these dialects of the Yoruba language. When we talk about language death or languages going extinct, we may not really understand what we mean or how it happens. I think it basically happens in just two simple ways. One is assimilation and two, abandonment. Now, you see, these two don't just happen suddenly. When you assimilate a particular, the languages of other countries, other major cultures, especially the European language, languages, I'm speaking one of them. When you embrace the languages of other major cultures and abandon that of yours, and this happens to a lot of minority cultures, they embrace the languages of others, their way of lives, their dressing, everything. You embrace it, and then you forget about your own language while, prioritizing their own language over yours. That's assimilation. Then abandonment, when there's a total shift at the end of the day, you must have shifted to using the languages of the majority groups and abandon yours totally. And then the languages, your own native language dies. So it's not even rocket science. It's no magic. It doesn't happen in a day. It takes years, decades before these things happen. So what are the major ways to help preserve your native tongues? Number one, fresh orientation. Number two, encouraging language preservation among youths and children. Number three, the use of technology to promote language preservation. And number four, investing in language education. So let's look at the 4 points, one after the other. The first point, fresh orientation. Now, I particularly wrote down this point because I've come across so many modern day speakers of the Yoruba language, or should I just call them descendants of Oduduwa, because they don't even speak the language. And they are very embarrassed when it comes to speaking the Yoruba language or their own native tongue, the dialect of the Yoruba language that they speak in their hometown. They're very embarrassed to do that. They don't want to speak with others, not even when they're indoors with their family members. Because, I don't know, for whatever reasons, they just feel like the language is not tush, right? It's not tush, according to them. But we need to start teaching people, our folks, our friends, our children, that the Yoruba language is not a language of poverty. It's not a language of mediocrity. It's not a language of the uneducated, right? It's also the language of the elite. right? The only reason you favor that majority language over yours is because they have spent everything they have, their resources, to preserve their own language. Now, for instance, imagine that we've been speaking our own native tongue over the years. There's no way we would feel like our language is not sufficient to pass the information, to carry the information that we need our communication to carry. If they did that to their own language in Europe, how do you think the language will still exist till now? All right, so we need a fresh, a shift in orientation. We need to let our people know that this language rather, is a language that is worth speaking, right? It's worth communicating with. That's for fresh orientation. And then number two, we need to encourage people, encourage the preservation of the language. We need to use all the resources that we have. We need to let people understand that it's okay to speak the languages at home. Even schools need to begin to accommodate these languages. You can create a separate time for them to speak the language. 1 hour or 2 is not bad. With that way, they can even teach others that are not from their hometown, they're not from their part of this country. You can teach your language to that of others. I'm not even talking about just the Yoruba language now. If you're Igbo, rather, if you're Hausa, if you're Isekiri, you're from Kogi, you want to speak Ebira, and so many other languages like that are in the minority groups, you can teach your language to other people, other curious people that want to hear your language, and they can in turn teach you their own languages too, and that way you help one another preserve the language. And then the third one rather is the use of technology to preserve these languages. Now you find out that a lot of people, because we want to seek validation, we want other people to know that, oh, we can speak English, we can speak the language of the elites, yada yada. You don't speak your own native tongue. Now, there's nothing wrong in making a tweet or making a post on Instagram or on YouTube speaking your native language. Speak your language, nobody's gonna arrest you, and it is sweet. And your language too would be addressed the way you address it. If you carry your language on top of your head, people are going to respect it like that for you. If you trash it, people are going to trash it for you. And the fourth one is that we need to invest in education in order to preserve the different dialects in the Yoruba language. Teach it to kids, teach it to your friends, speak it, proudly. Go out there, write books about it, go on the internet, create materials that others can learn from, make YouTube videos, make videos for Instagram. Seize every opportunity to teach your language, to speak your language to other people, right? So I'm going to tell you that whatever your language is, as a Nigerian or wherever you're watching from, your language is worthy of being out there, is worthy of being used as a means of communication with other people. It's worthy of being proud of, right? Be proud of your mother tongue. Chinese people speak Mandarin and they're proud of it. They use the language to communicate. Koreans use the language to communicate. You don't necessarily have to carry other people's languages on your head and abandon yours. So if you want your language to be sufficient enough to carry adequate information when you're communicating, you have to consistently use it. Some of us don't even know some basic things in our local dialect. So what's the point? How then do you want to play your part in preserving your native language? So what language do you speak? You'd like to tell me in the comment section what language you speak. Can you teach us some basic things or greetings in your language? Would really love that. Please drop them in the comment section, or even reach out to me if you want us to do a part 2 of this, covering different languages in Nigeria. That would be fine. I'm totally open to that. So please do not forget to subscribe, to share, to like, and to do what again? To discuss amongst your friends. Please use yourself as a tool to preserve your native tongue. Thank you for watching. My name is Karima Kazim, and I'll see you in my next video.